The story begins in ancient China, thousands of years ago. On that dark day, the gates of hell were opened, and from that gate came terrifying monsters, creatures that spread destruction across the land of China. They hunted humans without mercy. Fear, chaos, and death quickly covered the entire kingdom. Amid all this, we're introduced to a wealthy nobleman who hires several demon hunters to protect his family from these evil forces. Among them is Jade, a fearless and highly skilled demon hunter. Suddenly, Jade senses something. A dark presence is about to enter the palace. The palace doors slowly creak open. Without hesitation, Jade strikes the door with her weapon, but the next moment shocks everyone. The figure she attacked isn't a monster. It's a monk named Tong. Tong, just like the others, has come to eliminate the demon. He even tries to impress Jade, but she has zero interest in him. She's here for one reason only: to kill the monster. Suddenly, the palace bells begin ringing violently. The ground cracks open beneath them. All the demon hunters pull out their weapons and prepare for battle, but the monster isn't easy to trap. Within seconds, it drags two hunters underground. Moments later, bones fly up into the air. Seeing this horrifying scene, the leader of the demon hunters panics and starts retreating with his team. Meanwhile, Tong confidently tells the noblewoman, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." But before he can finish, a long, slimy tongue shoots out, and the monster lifts him into the air. The remaining hunters escape outside, but the monster follows. The leader attacks using a bottled magical power, but suddenly, a massive hand bursts out, nearly crushing them. Terrified, they all step back. The monster then moves toward the city. Wherever it passes, the ground splits apart, buildings collapse, people scream, desperately trying to save their lives. For one final stand, the demon hunters regroup on the city bridge. Their attack forces the monster out of the water, and that's when we see something unbelievable. Tong is still alive. He's riding on the monster's back, trying to control it, but the monster suddenly swallows the demon hunter leader whole. Now completely out of control, the creature destroys everything in its path. Tong keeps struggling to stop it. Just then, Jade arrives with her partner. She loads a poisonous arrow, aiming carefully at the monster, but as Tong loses his balance and falls, the monster is about to swallow an old woman. Tong jumps in to save her, and at that exact moment, Jade's arrow hits, but instead of the monster, it strikes Tong. Tong starts acting strangely. The old woman, misunderstanding the situation, slaps him hard across the face. Meanwhile, Jade and her partner launch another attack. Her arrows strike directly into the monster's eye. Finally, the monster collapses and dies. Jade climbs onto its back and drives her blade into it, but Tong suddenly pulls her away, saving her from the monster's poisonous blood. That toxic blood splashes onto the wealthy nobleman's face, burning his skin instantly. Tong falls on top of Jade, and in anger, she slaps him again. In the end, Jade pulls out the monster's spine. Tong begins chanting a magical spell, and slowly, the monster's massive body turns into ashes. In the next scene, we see Jade extracting a strange liquid from the demon's spine. She plans to use this mysterious substance to create a rebirth elixir, a potion that can bring someone back to life. Her goal? To reunite with the one she lost. And that's when we finally learn Jade's true story. Jade isn't a normal human. She was once a goddess from heaven. Under her protection stood a sacred tree, known as the Tree of Mortality. This divine tree bore magical fruits that ripened only once every 3,000 years. Any god who consumed these fruits would have their lifespan extended. Jade's duty was simple: protect the fruits at all costs. That's when she met Tong. The two slowly fell in love. As their bond deepened, something unexpected happened. The sacred fruits began falling from the tree. Before Jade and Tong could react, many of the fruits were destroyed. The other gods were furious. The Queen of Heaven made a harsh decision. Both of them would be punished. Tong was forced to drink a special potion that erased all his memories. He lost his divinity and was reborn as a human. Still, deep in his heart, he believed that if destiny wanted them to meet again, they would. But Jade, she refused to drink the potion. She couldn't bear the thought of forgetting him. Instead, she chose to go down to Earth to protect him. Enraged, the queen cursed her. Jade would never be able to recognize Tong, even if he stood right in front of her. Centuries have passed. Jade has been searching for her lost love ever since, but she has no idea what Tong looks like now in his human form. The flashback ends. In the present, Jade has successfully obtained the demon's spinal liquid, but her magical elixir is still incomplete. She needs one final ingredient: the eye of a Cyclops. Meanwhile, Tong is seen walking through a forest. A caravan passes by him. Inside a royal carriage sit several beautiful young women, but they aren't human, they're demons. Tong instantly recognizes their true nature, and the demon girls realize just as quickly. Tong is no ordinary man. Among them is a girl dressed in green. The moment she sees Tong, she freezes, because long ago, he saved her life. After being cast out of heaven, Tong became a demon hunter on Earth. One day, he defeated a powerful demon and sealed it beneath a statue of Buddha. But just before dying, a small creature crawled out from the demon's body, a tiny snake. Instead of killing it, Tong chose mercy. He spared the creature and released it far away. And now, that girl in green, she is that very snake demon. Seeing Tong again fills her with shock and gratitude. She knows her life exists because of him. The scene shifts again. The three demon sisters are now inside their palace. Their father, the demon lord, is furious. His master plan has failed. His original goal was to assassinate the king and enslave humanity, but a mysterious force interfered. He couldn't kill the king, so now the demon lord changes his strategy. He needs a human girl, someone who can get close to the king, someone who won't raise suspicion, someone who will obey his every command. Because whenever the demon girls themselves approach the king's powerful aura would repel them instantly. And now a darker plan begins to unfold. Now we finally see the demon's true forms. The girl in the black veil suddenly transforms into her real shape, a horrifying giant spider. The second girl shifts into a massive wild dog. Together, they set out to fulfill the demon lord's new plan. In the next scene, we see Tong. He wants nothing more than to become a true monk. But there's one problem. To become a monk, he must shave his head. Every time he tries, his hair turns as hard as iron. His master even uses a sword to cut it, but the blade shatters, and Tong's hair remains untouched. Tong becomes deeply disappointed. Since arriving in the human world, his only wish has been to live as a monk. Confused and heartbroken, he wonders why this keeps happening. One of the masters tells him, perhaps in your previous life, the gods were angered by something you did. Maybe that's why they won't allow you to become a monk. Tong asks, then what should I do? The master replies, go to the temple, pray, ask for forgiveness. Tong goes to the temple and sincerely begs the gods for mercy, but suddenly, all the Buddha statues turn their faces away from him. It's a clear sign. The gods are furious. Tong is stunned. He doesn't understand what terrible sin he committed to deserve such punishment. Desperate for answers, he prays to the goddess of mercy. Please tell me, what is my crime? Among all the gods, only the goddess of mercy responds. She says, if you want to learn the truth about your past life, you must kill the one-eyed Cyclops. Only then will your memories return. Before Tong can fully process her words, several Buddhist monks rush into the temple. They see the statues turned around in panic. They begin searching for the one who angered the gods. Their eyes fall on Tong, and they start attacking him. Suddenly, a wealthy noblewoman arrives. It turns out she had invited the monks to perform a ritual. When she sees the chaos and delay, she becomes furious. She orders her soldiers, kill them all. Tong's master tries to intervene, but a soldier strikes him hard on the head. A mysterious golden light begins to glow from his head. Dark clouds gather in the sky. A powerful beam of light crashes down upon him, and in an instant, the monk transforms into a gigantic monkey. With incredible strength, he easily defeats the soldiers. Tong watches in shock and excitement. He sees unbelievable power within his master. The master turns to Tong and says, I am not truly a monk. I am your old friend from heaven. I couldn't leave you alone in this world, so I came to protect you. Tong doesn't understand, so the monkey master places his hand on Tong's head and shows him his past. Tong sees that he was once one of the gods in heaven. He sees the queen cursing him and sending him to earth. The curse included something cruel. He would never recognize the faces of his friends. Tong is shaken. He turns his face away in disbelief. The monkey master then shifts back into human form and says, as the goddess of mercy told you, you must kill the Cyclops soon. Only then will your curse be lifted. Only then will you finally see the true face of the one you love. And with that revelation, Tong's destiny becomes clear. On the other side, we see the demon lord. He's furious with Tong. Years ago, Tong sealed him beneath a Buddhist statue, trapping him there for a long time. Now the demon lord wants revenge. He orders his daughters, capture Tong's lover. We'll use her to complete our plan. But the snake demon isn't comfortable with this. She owes Tong her life. Even though she can't openly defy her father, the thought of hurting her savior deeply troubles her. Still, she has no choice but to obey. In the next scene, we see a small army, led by a mustached female warrior. She and her soldiers arrive at a restaurant, which turns out to belong to Tong. He recently opened it, but he's clearly not the best cook yet. When the food disappoints her, the warrior loses her temper. She transforms into her true form, a massive Hulk-like creature, because when she's hungry, nothing can stop her. As she shifts back into human form, something strange happens. A green liquid drips onto her face. She looks up. There's a huge hole in the ceiling, and inside it, a gigantic eye is staring down at her. It's the Cyclops, the same terrifying creature Jade has been searching for, the very one the goddess of mercy mentioned. If Tong kills it, his past memories will return. The Cyclops begins rampaging through the village, brutally attacking soldiers. Right then, Jade arrives at the scene. The mustached warrior prepares to strike directly at the Cyclops' eye, but Jade stops her. She needs that eye intact. The Cyclops grabs the warrior in its massive hand, but she refuses to give up. She slashes at its mouth with her sword. The Cyclops screams in pain, and in a rage, throws her far across the battlefield. Tong rushes in and saves her just in time. Jade then attacks the Cyclops' head. Enraged, the monster grabs Tong with its enormous hand, but Tong uses his strange power. His hair hardens like iron. He uses it to free himself. Everyone else runs in fear. Now Jade quickly forms a plan. Looking at Tong's indestructible hair, she thinks, why not use this as our weapon? In a bold move, move, they launch Tong using a cheap Chinese slingshot, straight toward the Cyclops. Tong's iron-like hair strikes with tremendous force. The Cyclops collapses. Victory. Jade immediately removes the Cyclops' eye and takes it with her. She returns to her secret lab with her partner. There, she places the eye into a mysterious machine. A glowing projection begins. The truth is revealed. Tong is the very man Jade has been searching for all these centuries. At that exact moment, Tong enters the lab. Their eyes meet. Memories come flooding back to him. Jade's eyes fill with tears, and Tong embraces her. After centuries of separation, they finally recognize each other. But the moment is short-lived. The Demon Lord suddenly appears. He's waited a long time for this chance at revenge, and now he plans to use Jade to enslave the entire world. He attacks Jade, but Tong jumps in to protect her. Meanwhile, outside, the mustached warrior is battling the spider demon. The spider demon launches poisonous webs, while the warrior fights back with her blade. After an intense fight, she kills one of the demon sisters. Back inside, Tong is fighting the Demon Lord, but the Demon Lord is incredibly powerful. He defeats both Tong and Jade, and steps outside. There, he sees the mustached warrior standing before him. The moment he realizes she killed his daughter, his rage explodes. She charges at him with her sword, but he blocks every strike effortlessly. Then, with brutal force, he turns her own sword against her, and in a devastating blow, the warrior falls dead. Now we see Tong again. The spider demon suddenly drags him out using her massive web. The Demon Lord begins beating him mercilessly. Just when it seems like Tong is about to die, Jade arrives. She falls to her knees and begs the Demon Lord to spare Tong's life. The Demon Lord smirks. "Fine," he says. "I'll let him live, but you must do something for me." Jade doesn't hesitate. To save the man she loves, she's willing to do anything. She agrees. On her father's command, the snake demon places a parasite inside Jade's body. Now Jade is poisoned from within. Her mission is clear. She must assassinate the king. If she succeeds, the Demon Lord will finally rule the world. In the next scene, Jade is inside the royal palace. She dances gracefully before the king. Meanwhile, Tong is barely alive. He's on the verge of death. That's when the snake demon appears. She transfers her spiritual energy into Tong's mouth, healing him. She tells him the truth. Jade is at the palace. The Demon Lord sent her to kill the king. Tong rushes toward the temple. As he approaches, the goddess of mercy reveals a method for him to regain his true power. Back at the palace, Jade is about to poison the king. Her hand trembles. At the last second, she stops. Instead of killing him, she confesses everything. The Demon Lord is watching. Enraged, he begins beating his war drums violently. The parasite inside Jade reacts. It starts tearing her body apart from within. At the same time, the spider demon attacks the king. Soldiers rush in to stop her, but she defeats them all with her deadly webs. The entire army charges forward. The Demon Lord appears to protect his daughter. With a single devastating strike, he turns the entire army to ashes. The spider demon captures the king in her web. She's seconds away from killing him, when suddenly, Tong arrives alongside his monkey master. Tong gathers the spider demon's webs together, trapping her. With one final move, he destroys her. Meanwhile, Tong's old friend transforms into his demon form to fight the Demon Lord. But even with his full power, he's no match. Remembering the goddess of mercy's words, Tong kisses Jade, hoping it will restore his strength. But nothing happens. His powers don't return. He carries Jade outside, trying to protect her. Inside, the Demon Lord is crushing Tong's friend. Tong activates his weapon and strikes, blasting the Demon Lord backward, but the attack barely affects him. The Demon Lord retaliates. He grabs Tong's friend and throws him violently, forcing him back into human form. Still, refusing to give up, Tong's friend stands again and charges. Jade, despite her weakening body, also tries to fight, but the Demon Lord strikes her once, sending her flying. She doesn't have enough strength left. She's badly injured. In one final act of sacrifice, Tong's friend attacks again. With incredible force, he tears out both of the Demon Lord's kidneys. The Demon Lord weakens, but Tong's friend collapses, dead. Tong rushes to Jade, holding her in his arms. The Demon Lord, severely wounded, turns to his last hope. He demands his spiritual core from his daughter, the snake demon, so he can heal his fatal injuries. But she looks at him calmly and says, "I already gave that energy to someone else." Now we see Jade, dying in Tong's arms. Her life is fading fast, but before her final breath, they share a true kiss. A kiss filled with love, destiny, and centuries of longing. In that very moment, Tong awakens his true god power, but it's too late. Jade is gone. The Demon Lord reveals his ultimate form. He realizes that to fully restore his strength, he must sacrifice his own daughter. Without hesitation, he devours the snake demon. Now the Demon Lord becomes overwhelmingly powerful. Tong transforms as well into a radiant golden deity. With divine magic, he summons an army of golden warriors. He commands them to attack. The Demon Lord shifts into a massive red dragon. Tong rises into the sky, transforming into a golden dragon himself. The sky trembles as both dragons clash. The red dragon unleashes a fierce attack, attack, severely wounding Tong. But Tong refuses to fall. Gathering every last ounce of strength, he merges all the golden warriors into his own body. His power multiplies. With one final earth-shattering punch, he strikes the red dragon. The demon lord collapses, defeated. Tong rushes back to Jade. Her body is slowly turning into ashes. For a god, he feels completely powerless. Just then, the goddess of mercy appears. "Heaven is waiting for you," she says softly. "You may return now." But Tong shakes his head. "This is my curse, to live without the one I love." The goddess of mercy looks at him with compassion. She gently transforms Jade's soul into a beautiful bird. The bird flies toward Tong and rests beside him. For the first time since losing her, Tong smiles. He is no longer alone. And that is the story of Jade and Tong. If you believe true love never dies, then take a second to support the channel. Hit that like button, share this story with someone you care about, and subscribe for more epic tales that stay with you long after the screen fades to black. Because here, legends live forever.